Hello and welcome for your daily astrology and tarot horoscope reading for Monday, September 15, brought to you by Nicholas. The planet of today is the moon, and the moon is going on. So what's going on with the moon today is it's at 17 degrees Gemini at 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and therefore it is making a sextile to Uranus at 15 degrees of Aries. So what this symbolizes to me is it's really good. There's something called like orbital astrology, or I don't know, just kind of like phases of the planets together. So this Moon Uranus pattern that's going on is the Moon and Uranus were conjunct then in Aries. It's around 16, 17 degrees of Aries Thursday, because the Moon was in Aries, and so at that time mental stimulation should have been occurring, because Uranus is all about sudden insights. It's the flash insight, the sudden, the unexpected coming into fruition, and it's unsteady, but it's also very, very out of the box thinking, and very profound, very creative. It's kind of like a mad scientist who can pull these magnificent ideas out of the ether, and the moon charges that with your emotion. And so there's something that was very emotionally stimulating at that time, and if you got to see where this affected you in your chart, and did you get any insights from that area in your life. And what happens when it makes its first sextile is the moon conjuncts and now has gone away into Gemini, a very thinking planet, is you can actually think this idea out a little bit further and maybe have some luck with that. A sextile is an easygoing aspect, but it's also an aspect that's kind of compelling that you have to do something with. So think about how you can use that lunar insight that you received, hopefully on Thursday. If you just look at your chart and figure out where that Moon Uranus was conjunct, what part of that life did you get an insight? Can you look at your old journals? Can you look at anything you've written or done, and see how you can bring that into fruition today, this Monday? And that's one good way to align with your moon. The card of the day I pulled is the Nine of Sorrow. And astrologically speaking, I go through the whole week. First of all, I go through the whole week and trying to not cover my crystal up in the background there, the amethyst. So this is the Nine of Clouds, and this is all about, the clouds are all about mental. And I think the Nine of Swords in the regular deck is like somebody at night, there's like 9 swords on the wall, and they're like, looks like they're waking up from a nightmare, crying, they're upset. And that's the same as this. It's always very sorrowful pictures, but to me, one good thing about it is there's nowhere else to go but up from here, and you probably will go up from here. But just remember to just prepare for Monday the best that you can. If knowing that it's probably going to be a little bit emotionally unsteady, make sure you get a full night's rest. Make sure you have your clothes set out before you go to work. Make sure you arrive to work 10 minutes early, or wherever you're going 10 minutes early. Make sure you're just on your game. Make sure you're dressed properly. Make sure you follow all the structure rules, and at least that part of your life won't thwart you on your path, and maybe you can just be more steady as you are channeled for these emotions. Also, for more interpretation on that, you can definitely refer back to my weekly tarot reading. But what's going on in the chart that kind of coincides with this sorrowful stuff is Venus is opposite Chiron right now. Chiron's at 15 degrees Pisces, and Venus is at 12 degrees of Virgo, so it's coming into aspect with a strong opposition with Chiron. It's about 3 degrees off, and it's just going to keep forming with it. So there's definitely some healing around the emotional side of things today. The other aspects that are going on is Mercury is conjunct the North Node at 18 degrees of Libra, and once again that Venus is in mutual reception with Mercury, so it's some of this pain issues that we've been healing these last few weeks. It's definitely communicating with Mercury, and it's actually adding to our life purpose. I think it's giving us strength and intelligence to approach our life purpose, our soul calling, even more. I mean, a lot of us haven't really developed our soul calling very well. At least I can speak for myself. I haven't. And doing these videos and practicing tarot and doing all my, I study astrology on relentlessly every day now, and I look at these charts. and I'm aligning more and more slowly and slowly, and it's kind of like coming from that Chiron pain, understanding my pain adds into this like reading interpretation. It gives me more filters and more lenses and more a thicker, richer story, fabric to work with. So that's definitely being backed up with the astrology today. It's just kind of understanding it and being able to communicate with it, and Monday is definitely going to be a great day for communication, especially around speaking and presenting yourself in your true life calling. Hopefully you can find a good friend and just talk about your dreams a little bit today, because that's what that Mercury North Node conjunction represents. Mercury's also opposite Uranus, and it happened, maybe 2 days ago when it was an exact opposition, because Mercury moves pretty fast. So once again, it's a Mercury opposition. So was there any sudden insights that you can bring to your life calling? That's what's going on for today. It's something that, so it's definitely aligning with what was going on with the moon conjunct Uranus and Mercury kind of opposite Uranus, and just a lot of like outside the box revolutionary thinking for a life calling going on starting out Monday. And the other aspect I want to talk about today is, Venus is at 12 degrees Virgo, which is an earth sign, and Pluto is at 11 degrees Capricorn, another earth sign. So they're trining each other right now. So Venus is now a degree away from its trine from Pluto. And if you think of Pluto, Pluto is like that subtle energy. It's atomic power. It's like the smallest little atoms, and you split them and they just burst into the biggest, most powerful things on the planet. I mean, nuclear power can do something great and profound, like energize like entire cities with everything they need at like 1/4 of the carbon footprint of an electrical power plant or a coal power plant. And at the same time, it can go bust, or it can destroy and level entire cities, or pollute such large areas around it. So with that power, it can definitely work either way in very, very profound ways. When it's trining a very easy aspect to Mercury, it's kind of to Venus. Venus is the magnetic side of things. Venus is like a magnet. It's the law of attraction. It's what draws things in. You see something. It's really sad. People say they're not superficial, but everybody gets sucked in by a beautiful person. They want to listen to them. They want to talk to them. They want to be around them. Usually those people have higher positions where you work, or especially where I work in Hollywood. And so to me, this is kind of a very charismatic signature when you have a magnet trine between the magnet planet Venus and the power planet Mercury. Pluto. I don't know why I keep saying Mercury. It's Venus and Pluto trining each other, and Pluto is so much power, and Venus is so magnetic that it's and Pluto represents power and power struggle. So it's definitely like there's a lot of energy that we can tap into and attract with and be part of, but we definitely got to make sure we're using it in the right way today. So that is the astrology transits of the day. I just want to pull one last. That crackling are my healing crystals. I just got this new smoke. I just got this new opal. Okay. So, what am I trying to do? So, tonight is I record all my videos in chunks so I can actually work during the week, and it usually takes me 20 minutes to post them every day. So, in order to make it feasible while working full-time and having my family, I usually record my videos in chunks, and tonight is September 12th, Friday, September 12th. And the main reason I'm recording everything tonight is I pulled a Thoth card that said art. And I didn't overthink it. I just said I need to create today. I need to do what my art and my craft is right now. And so I'm making these videos, but I live in Los Angeles, and we're just kind of going through a heat wave right now. And I am telling you, I am just burning up right now. We have the Four of Swords pulled for this Monday. And so this plays in a little bit more to what's going on with our sorrow. So, whatever is going on, basically that's like the sacrifice. This is like the goat or the lamb about to be sacrificed. It's the poor little lamb. it knows something's wrong. It sees the ominous swords, but it's like somehow it stays resolute and is not worrying about it. It knows its fate, and it knows what it has to do, and it's just going to push through anyway without the fear and worry. And so I think that's just the positive message. It's like, you know, we're in bad situations right now. How are we going to figure out not to worry? It's kind of just feeding into that and reminding that. And this week, the signifier card is the Thoth card, the Two of Princess. This whole week is represented by this signifier card that I pulled. If you watch my weekly tarot video, I'll link it in the description parts of this video. So if you watch that, this is the signifying card. And you know, the Priestess is all about intuitive knowledge, non-logical symbols. She's all about divination and coming to grips with that spirit world and understanding what it's trying to say. So there's a very powerful pain lesson to be learned today, and I definitely think it has to do with that Venus-Chiron opposition and all the stuff that's been going on for about a week now, because the full moon last week, September 8th, it was, that full moon had, you know, Chiron involved. I mean, there's just all kinds of powerful energy involved. You know, the moon and the sun, both in like those mutable areas. The sun in mutable Virgo, and the moon in mutable Pisces. You know, Virgo's the kind of healing and helper and all that, and Pisces is that intuitive side. So a lot of this stuff is just kind of murking around, and it comes into us in Monday, but I think it's just more about understanding our pain and really not letting us worry about it. The week does kind of start to come off to a rocky start. It's a very mental week this week, but things do get brighter, and things do open up a lot more into more of that spiritual journey stuff as we get into Thursday especially. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you have a great Monday. I mean, I think the message of the day is just try to come in as prepared as you can and just be ready to accept whatever happens. It's just kind of like you have to let go and go with it and not drain your energy in the worry. So thanks a lot. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them for me, and have a wonderful, wonderful Monday.